Okay, I'm starting the stream now, so we will be going live in just a second. We'll be able to see it pop up on the... which is early for us. We're usually late every night.
It's Jose's fault.
Yeah. Yeah, we're live.
Okay, so we are live. And Tim, good morning, ladies. Tim says, Tim, we are interviewing the guest that you suggested.
Thanks, Tim.
So if this goes horribly wrong, wrong,
don't think Tim yet. We haven't even started yet.
This could be the worst mistake ever. What's up, Scott? What's up, Shy? What's up, Sergio? How you doing, guys? Let's see. Okay, we got the recording going. Jose, mic check.
1, 2, 3.
Matt.
1, 2.
Garrett.
1, 2.
Okay. So, looks like all that is good. Rob's in now. Oh, you know what, Rob? I saw some notifications from you the other day that you sent me some stuff on Instagram, and I have not looked at my Instagram in like 2 days. So I don't know what you sent yet. I'll have to try to look at it on the fly later. It's Perry says it's 6:27. Is this last week's episode? So that gives you, that gives you an idea of how on time we usually are. All right. Should we start a minute early just to throw everybody off?
Sure. Just gotta keep them guessing, man.
So yeah, a couple weeks ago we did it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Take that.
So Garrett, I will count down 3, 2, 1. We'll go silent for about 10 seconds. That will be able to mark where the recording is, and then I'll just open it up with an intro, and we'll run with it from there. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, you guys.
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it is Monday night and it is 6:29. We're actually a minute early tonight, so we're going to throw things off a little bit. We have Garrett Behrens on the big screen in the studio with us. How are you doing tonight, Garrett?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for joining. So this was, I'm going to give Tim some credit on this one. Tim was the one that said, hey, there's...
You say Biggins or Barron?
Behrens.
Oh, okay. They said Biggins? What?
No, Behrens, right?
My hearing's
I don't think I
going.
messed it up this quick.
You know, I wouldn't put it past you.
So
Okay.
Tim, our buddy Tim, apparently bought the book Oliver Goes Off-Road, and he sent me a message and said, you need to get this guy on the show to talk to you about it. So you are the author of Oliver Goes Off-Road, a book about what? Tell me about Oliver Goes Off-Road.
Sure. I'll take you back to the beginning. I guess let's see if I can do this correctly. Up here on my video is my little guy, and then next to him is my little girl.
Okay.
But he's about 4.5 now. And when he was born, we got all kinds of baby stuff, right? But we got all the fancy stuff, the toys, the fun stuff. I read the books, taught me nothing. But one of our things that we liked is that we like to read to them, because at a certain point, we were holding them and they're doing all sorts of, and they love looking through the board books and things like that. And I realized that each topic they picked out was their kids' books, but nothing was very something that, I kind of wanted to pick up and read this, share, this is kind of what I'm about with him. I said, well, we'll have to wait till it's older. And I just thought, well, how hard can it be to make one of these myself? Because some that I have are not the best quality, and it looks like there's some authors that have stood the test of time, like your Goodnight Moons and
Goodnight Moon. Yes.
Chicka Chicka Boom Boom's the big one around the Baron's house.
Yep.
There's some good board books that I know I grew up with, and I said, well, let's see what this is. And my buddy and I, who works in my office, we're looking for stuff to do kind of on the side to keep us distracted from kind of our day-to-day stuff. And I thought it was a perfect opportunity. So we started getting to work and did a storyboard on Post-it pads at work, like what it would be, and go page 1, 2, 3, 4. And, we don't have any professional equipment. So we did a lot of it, or I did a lot of it on Microsoft Paint. And we started from the sketches, and it evolved to kind of what's in the book now. And each of it is like kind of a pixel by pixel editing. And like during lunchtime and stuff like that, we would just plug away at it. And all of it was self-funded. We thought it'd be kind of easy to get going or get into bookshops, but it certainly wasn't the case. So we paid everything out of pocket. And we said, well, in order to figure out how to sell these things, ultimately my goal is just have one single book to make and read to my kids, because that'd be fun. But it was thousands of dollars it cost to print all this stuff.
Yeah.
I thought, there's got to be people out there that would buy this, and I don't know how much things would cost, or because we had to do shipping, and there's a little barcode at the bottom. You have to register it with this, and Amazon likes to take all their cuts, and so on and so forth. But ultimately, we reached out to see. I thought, well, what would be a good idea originally? And the guys at Northridge 4x4 and Corva, the California Off-Road Vehicle Association, they originally were excited to help. Exactly. I got that same hat. I love those guys.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And we actually, we said, well, if somehow you can help us kind of spread the word on social media, and we didn't know what that would really entail, then we'll kind of put your stuff in our book. And Corva especially, I wanted, because I love what they do in California, I said, we're going to donate a proceed of every sale to you guys. And we started at a bookmark of about 10%, but I think it's certainly exceeded that now, almost up to a quarter of the profits.
Wow.
That we give back to those guys. And I'm stunned to do that. So they helped us out. The first batch we bought around 500. And we sold out of them entirely at the last Off-Road Expo that they had when they were still before COVID.
Yep. And
from there, we ran out and we hired an additional author to try and do another book, kind of like a sequel. But that author, his Instagram handle was like Kill the Billy Goat or something like that. Pretty big time artist from what it looked like. We met with him. He actually took our money and then stole it. Yeah, which took a lot of the wind out of our sails, because that was a big chunk of what was remaining of our profit. Because he was going to help us do some really good art, we were hoping. But he just straight stole it and then threatened us afterward.
Man, I wish we knew someone that had some legal grounds to.
And wait a minute, is that all it takes? Like you can steal stuff and then just threaten afterwards?
Yeah, there's no prosecution whatsoever. That's interesting. So
that was the irony, because this guy, my partner Kevin and I, when we did this book, we're actually prosecutors by day. And we got this guy's Instagram handle, but we didn't get his name. So he was able to steal our money, and we were kind of had a little egg on our face after that. Lesson learned.
So you sent money just to the Instagram, like?
Oh, we met him in person. Yeah,
okay. All right. I was gonna say, because
that's safe.
I think I know better than that. But
actually, if you guys are looking, I have some property. All you got to do is send me a check. Right. I'll send you the
deed. Was he right after?
Was he an African prince that's just
looking
to transfer money?
Was he a Nigerian prince?
Nigerian prince.
I'm just waiting on the checks to clear. He'll get back to me any day.
Did he make you pay for it in iTunes gift cards?
Yeah, some Bitcoin, Dogecoin.
Hopefully, you gave him your social security number to help.
You didn't. That's
how
we roll.
Whatever.
It seems a little unorthodox, but here you go, buddy.
I love that you have such a great attitude about it. Like it's like you said, egg on your face, lesson learned. It is what it is. So what is the time for? So full disclosure, I have a book idea for my daughter that I want to. No, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry.
Here we go.
I have a book idea, so now I'm really interested in finding out about this process. What was the timeline from the time you decided to actually make a book to the time you actually started selling it? You can buy this book right now on Amazon. Go to Amazon and search for Oliver Goes Off-Road, and you can find it, or on Instagram at Oliver Goes Off-Road. What was that time frame like?
Yeah, it's a good question. We actually had, when we first started, the idea was sketching storyboards. And it's a great question. And while I'm still on the topic, I gave this guy all of my original art for the second one, too. Yeah, I think he threw it away.
Oh, so what is his Instagram still around?
Yeah, it's like Kill the Billy Goat or something like that. He has a lot of like Simpsons looking art. And I tell you the name if I knew it, because we're waiting to take him to small claims court in San Bernardino if we ever find him. Somewhere out in Redlands.
Oh, Redlands. Oh, yeah, there it is. I see it.
Yeah.
You see it? Kill the Billy Goat. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. There it is. A lot of Simpsons artwork. Oh, man. That's hurts.
There's nothing worse than making somebody go to San Bernardino. So hopefully, hopefully you can. I had to do that myself just a few months ago. But
dude, you are next door neighbors to San Bernardino.
I'm hundreds of yards away from San Bernardino. Hundreds, thousands of yards away.
Matt is very elitist.
Yeah, that's why he lives in Fontana.
He lives in Fontana, and he's very elitist about areas of Southern California.
That's not ironic or anything.
No, not at all. So we were talking about the time frame. What's that look like from the time original artwork all the way to publication?
Well, for instance, like if you said you wanted to do something yourself, so what we did is that I got the sketched out about 10 pages or so roughly, and then we initially had help. My Kevin, who's also on the book cover or the spine, he actually helped get a kind of a freelance artist on the side to take my sketches and turn them into base drawings of what the book would look like. And that didn't take long at all. He only took a couple of weeks, and the first artist was really good to work with, and that's why I had so much trust the second go around. But he got that back to us. It was in line with what I was looking for, but it just wasn't what I had in my head. So with his work, that's when I really got down to go pixel by pixel and adding like the character faces and putting in all the editing done via Microsoft Paint, which isn't professional software. So it took a little while. It took about, for instance, a month, but that was doing during lunch times at work. So if you got down doing it at nights, it would be pretty quick. And then from there, we went to printninja.com, and they have this integrated software on their website. And you upload their pictures, and it has to be the correct resolution and DPI for their printers. And the color kind of changes as it goes onto the board books. And from there, the slowest part about it seemed like, was because it comes in a big pallet, and they put it on one of the slow boats. And that took about 2 months to arrive. But then when it was here, they come in these big boxes of around 50, and we just buy envelopes and sell and do all the social media marketing. And from there, when the orders trickle in, and yeah.
So if I were to buy this right now, which add to cart, are you able to, are you fulfilling these out of your house, or are these at the point now where they're stocked someplace in Anaheim?
From what I understand, that is a possibility, but what happens is, and it's interesting for people that haven't done it, certainly. So Amazon has this app called the Amazon Seller app, and it will come in. I'm not sure it's working out, but it'll ping my phone saying, you have an order, and from there it'll give me the address, and I'll fulfill it ourselves and pop it in the post office, and that's our shipping cost is pretty much accurate to what we cost to ship it.
That's awesome. So let's go back a little bit further. Who's Oliver? Who's Oliver the Jeep?
It's funny. So I have I have a son, and then I had a daughter. And for our second, I always kind of liked the name Oliver. It was going to be the name of my my son if we ever had one, but ultimately we settled on Landon. And then my daughter's name's Odessa, after the Calico mine trails. But so I've always liked that name, and I thought that if we had another second son, that's the name that I would pick. But it's just. That was the name that we stuck with. It had a good ring to it, syllables. So we ran with it.
And so I'm assuming you have a Jeep and you go off-road?
I do. I've been Jeeping for a long time. My wife's my father-in-law brought me into it on an old YJ. And from there, I was hooked. He's just sitting in the back seat with no top on the Jeep, getting sunburned. And I was just totally into it. And it was on 31s, and we would bang up everywhere. And from there, I got a JK. And then when Landon was born, I got a 4-door Rubicon, and now I'm on to a Gladiator.
Oh. See, that's what it is, Jose. You need to publish a book so you can afford that Gladiator.
Yeah. Exactly.
That has nothing to do with his day job. I'm
exactly,
certain.
yeah.
So when did you get the Gladiator?
I got the Gladiator early in 2020 when the pandemic first started. What is nice is, though, even though we spend a good chunk of money, my father-in-law, he has a shop, Brigette Automotive. And so we can use the 2 posts, and everything that gets done, I'm able to do myself. So,
Nice.
you put on enough lifts on JKs, and they're all relatively the same. Yeah. So right now it's on 37s, and we're going to do lockers soon. And I'm just not big on air lockers. So that's why I'm waiting for an e-locker to come out before we do the gears. And
you buying it in 2020 pre-pandemic, you didn't pay the shortage fee, the $40,000 over MSRP just because they can't get it. So you got it at the right time. That's for sure.
It's crazy. It's like looking at them now, they're charging $6,000 like adjustment rates. And people are buying it, which is shocking to me, but they're phenomenally expensive right now.
Yeah, I went and looked at a vehicle this last week, and it was $11,000. The sticker at the dealership was $11,000 over what the MSRP on their website was, and I'm like, nah,
that sounds like a penalty for owning a Ranger. Like, that's just what you're going to have to do. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah. Well, look, never mind. Just because we don't want to scare the guests with our Ford talk.
Yeah, no.
So
please don't.
Where do you,
or the listeners?
Where do you take the Gladiator wheeling?
Anywhere and everywhere, really. We've done all the trails in Southern California, down to the Hammers and most of the Big Bear trails. And there's some local wheeling out here near us in the desert. That's kind of fun and easy. My son loves the scorpion hunt at night. And then we'll go down to Ocotillo and
glowing ones,
UV light.
Yeah, the glowing ones.
I mean, not like killing them, but you just finding them with the little flashlights, and they grow green. Tons of fun.
I just saw a video the other day of like it just looked like normal ground, and then they would put the light on it, and then they turned the flashlight off, and the scorpion was glowing. And I'm like, this seems like a horrible idea. Why would nature do that?
It's the craziest thing. And some of them are super, super small, and others look like lobsters, and you get super stoked on it.
Oh wow! Yeah,
they're not native to Fontana, are they? Because I might have to move.
That's funny. So the if you were to go back to when you started the process of creating the Oliver book, and you made the comment that you just, as long as you had a book to share with your kids, how do you feel about where it's at today? Is it more than you ever expected? Is it what's the in hindsight, how do you feel about the process?
It's fun. I didn't know what to expect because I wasn't expecting much out of it. But I think it's been absolutely tremendous. And one of the things that makes me happiest is when people will, for instance, post pictures on Instagram, or the group that's really helped us just straight take off is the group at Irate 4x4, formerly Pirate 4x4, because that was just one of my absolute favorite forums. And once I posted there, and I expected to get hammered, and because it seems like you're selling something. But man, the group was great, and they just helped me take off. and now it's one of like the swag on the site. So those guys were absolutely great. And I guess the first bump in morale came from this huge like line graph boost in our sales. And what I like to do is if anyone either on Instagram or they message me, I'll write doodles in the book and notes to whoever they want, and before I ship them out. So all kinds of stuff from like weasels and like geo trackers, all kinds of interesting things that if I can make it special, because we're not going to retire off it or make a whole lot of money. Ultimately, the goal is to have a book to read to mine, donate money to Corva, and make people's kids happy out there. And when people send pictures of them reading their kids or they're off on the trail and they have the book with them, it's pretty touching because I didn't expect it. And then there it is. We've shipped to almost all 50 states now.
Oh, wow.
In Canada and some to one tried to Australia, but it was going to be like $50 to ship. So
but I think because you had that mindset going in, that's why it's successful, because you weren't expecting to make, like huge profit. This was just a
passion project.
Yeah, passion project.
Yeah, it's true.
And I think I love the idea of someday when your kids are older, they're going to have a copy of this book that they're going to read to their kids. Damn it, now I'm going to cry. That they're going to read to their kids that Grandpa made for them.
Just please don't talk about mountain biking on this episode.
No, the legacy, the legacy of handing that story down from you to your kids to their kids. I think that to me is very, very inspiring.
Yeah, it's really great. Yeah, I appreciate your comments. It's like I'll take videos of them, and now it's been 2 years since the original one came out, and I look at them. The voice has changed and they've grown, and it's I don't know. It was really cool. I'm really glad I did it because it was thousands of dollars up front, and I'd be stuck with all this stuff that no one wanted. And when you do anything, I'm sure you guys know, if you do something creative and someone comes along and says it's not any good, or they you kind of are vulnerable. But right now the reviews have been great, and it's pretty humbling. But it's a really cool process.
Yeah, we put stuff out every week, and every week people tell us
we're
it's
used
horrible.
We're used to
it's
getting
kind of
told
the circle.
it sucks.
It's the circle of life. What's been the most surprising part of this? The most surprising part of putting the book out?
The reception when, for instance, I'll look at it and I know every mistake I made, because a lot of it is, for instance, if I'm doing somewhat rushed or if I'm, something could have been better. But when people look at it, and I think they're going to be like, oh, this is okay, and then toss it. But the most surprising thing is just seeing other people's kids that aren't my own with something that I made. And it's hard to, I guess, think that that's something that we made and now it's making somebody else happy. So it's pretty cool, because I think when this run is over, when these books, we only have a little less than 100. I think we've sold about 900 copies. My kids are old enough where they don't read board books anymore, and it's kind of like a sad chapter, but I doubt I'd make another one. I might move on to like a paper one, because I saw another guy on Instagram has something similar, but it's like an actual story for like an older kid, and I think that might be the next step. But while we had it, it was this pretty cool run, and I'm glad that the folks at Corva have been great, and they've been able to make a little something off of it too. So I'm pretty happy.
That is, are you still going to move forward with the sequel? Has that idea died, or is it still going on?
Well, the sequel at the time was supposed to be another board book, because the theory was like when we go out on the trail, it's the cheaper books, the ones that are made of paper. If I need to be able to throw it in a backpack and make it not rip apart, it's got to be pretty durable, even if it gets beat up. And that's why I always liked I was like, it has to be a board book for that purpose. And it had to be small, so it'll fit in a backpack. And the page limit can't be enough that kids would just get sick of it by the time you reach page 8.
Yeah.
And that was, as a guy that's read a lot of small baby books, that was like my thing. So it's hard to say about the sequel, because the job's getting crazy and busy with the times that we're living in, and it's just hard to get the free time to do it. So it's hard to say, I guess. It's a tough question.
Yeah, that's it's interesting you talk about, like, we have been reading to my daughter's 5, and one of the things that we've always done is read every night. And you're right. There's the board books that are smaller and quick to get through. And now that she's 5 and she can read on her own, she still will go back and choose some of those board books and want to read those, like, those simple 6-page, 1 line per page stories. I'm almost going to be bummed when she moves on and says she doesn't want to deal with those anymore.
And you can kind of memorize them at the end of a long day. I mean, you'll know better than anybody. It's you do something and you're kind of like, oh my God. And you just try and memorize and go through the motions sometimes to just get through. And that's, so the big books, I'm like, oh my God, I can't get through this wall of text. Like,
yeah, that is funny because there are times when she's like, "Can we do a book?" Yeah, okay, which one? And I'm like, "Not that one, not that one for sure."
Does the book come in other languages or is it English only?
It's just English because of the cost of publishing.
Okay. Yeah.
I always wondered, like, how do these people get published? And you go to Barnes and Noble or all these big, I'm like, how on earth do they do that? From what I understand, there are these kingmakers. Like, you can't really even submit something for these big companies to pick up. They just kind of call you, and one day it happens or they find you, but they don't take submissions. So as far as like publishing, because our community here, there's a lot of Spanish speakers here. I'm around it all the time. So that would be great. But then the publishing for, let's see, 1,000 books that we had now was almost $4,000.
Yeah. So it'd be another $4,000.
Yeah. So you'd have to spend that up front again and then start the whole marketing process all over again in hopes of selling that full batch to get your money back.
Right. And then of course I needed, my online scams are a big part of my life now. So I'm going to have to choose a couple more of those to donate to.
Oh, damn. That's funny. Well, we will talk afterwards. I'm sure I can find something you can pay for.
Sure.
But I mean, the book itself, like, tell me about what Oliver's adventure is. I don't want to, don't obviously not page by page because I want people to buy the book, but what's the overall story of Oliver?
Sure. And my first idea when I very first started was, again, I reached out to Northridge, and then there are a couple other companies at the time, but they were the ones that were, I think, the most supportive, and Corva as well. And they said, let's just teach a book about going out and kind of like respecting the land, taking care of the trails, things like that. And it's a hard topic to kind of translate to baby speak for 0 to 3.
Yeah.
So initially it starts with kind of initially the first book was a plug for, Northridge. It had a store with their title on it because our thinking was they would help kind of populate to their viewers. More people would come in and it would help them because it also had like a code, which is still active and I still use it. It's just code Oliver at Northridge. But then the second book, we kind of strayed away from that to make it less commercial. I guess it kind of leaves a taste in people's mouths where it's like, they could do without it. So we did away without that in the second one, but the same kind of story prevailed. And then ultimately Oliver kind of goes about, gets new tires, tries out new trails, takes care to, say hi to the animals, but not disturb their homes and things like that. And then he gets a car wash at the end where the kids love to kind of wash off the mud. And then he goes to bed.
That sounds like a good day of wheeling for me.
Yeah, right.
I think most people, including myself, you have this idea and you're gonna publish this book, and then you start going down the path of, okay, how long is it gonna take, and how much is it gonna cost me to publish? Because I just want the one book. Never mind. Like, what drove you to keep going? Like, what was like, no, I'm gonna see this all the way through.
Well, because we had my business partner at the books, we called it C&R. C&R Books was our made up company name, and we're prosecutors, so it's catch and release. I
was gonna ask. That's awesome.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, without getting too political, the challenge of prosecution in California is a little. It's changed over the years, but we together, he fronted his portion of the money, I fronted mine. And and my wife was always super supportive because ultimately, when we first started, we had a lower budget artist and a lower budget, batch of books, as it were. So it wasn't too much. And it's like, well, if we're out, then we're out. It's, not that much money, but hopefully we'll be able to sell some back. Yeah. And luckily we sold every single one of the first copy, which is really cool.
And then you said you had another batch that you made, right? And you're on your second batch now?
Yeah, we're on the second edition, as it were, and it was supposed to be a whole new one, but I updated a little bit of the art and spent some more time on it, and so now I changed a couple things, and I added one more page at the end. So it's more or less the same thing, but it's our second set of publishing books, because then it's the same thing. They publish it, they put it on the boat, it kind of makes its way over, and then it's here. So we got a couple more books, but yeah, we have about two and a half more boxes left, so we're running near the end.
Well, I just clicked buy on Amazon, so you're short one more.
Yeah, I'll be buying one too.
One more less, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is super inspiring. When I think about, you had a story that you wanted to tell your kids, and you went all the way through that process to get there, man. I mean, it's what advice would you have for someone that wants to do this?
No. First, thank you for your words. I'm all I guess not emotional, but I'm like, oh you.
That's okay. That's okay. Every time I talk about my daughter, I start to tear up, and these guys all make fun of me because I cry all the time, and so it's a safe place. It's a safe place.
Yeah. Well, it's true. It does evoke that emotion, and it's hard to, when you're seeing it and they're reading it, you're like, oh my God. And I guess ultimately it's, a lot of people too, they'd be like, it is a lot of money, and times are tight for a lot of folks. And but if you have, and you think, ultimately I could do without this, and you really have, I guess, that ability to devote to it, then for sure, as long as you don't expect to retire off of it, like we won't, we'll break even, and we'll just probably donate the rest, like to save the dunes or something if we can. But yeah, it's been a really fun trip. It's a fun kind of, not a distraction and not quite a hobby, but a little bit of both. So it's been, if anyone really wants to try it, it's worth shooting for.
And I would think it's a fun distraction that has a very positive motivation behind it, if that makes sense. Like it's you're doing something for not only your own kids but other people's kids, and it's donating to Corva, and it's not like I'll go back to, it's not golf where I get frustrated and angry and I just spent too much money to go golf for the day. This is a side hustle.
But I like when you spend the money and watch you golf.
Sure.
It helps me. Like,
It makes
I
you
enjoy
feel
it.
better when I golf.
Yes.
But you know what I mean? Like it's a side gig that has a very positive driving factor behind it.
Yeah, it's a good point. And one of I guess one of the things too, I don't know how important this is irrelevant, but it's, from our jobs, especially one of my assignments in my job is I'm the assigned animal cruelty prosecutor. And on top of the other things, I see terrible things, terrible things. And doing things like this does help. And, the Jeeping is one of the things too. And the kids, it really, like, when 5 o'clock ends, it's a great thing to have like little side things like this just to focus on. Like when I'm wheeling, all I'm worried about is like what's in front of me, but not all the other things. So it helps to, like, just things like this really helps.
It's a good distraction to have.
I agree.
Yeah, and it's a distraction that you can basically share with the world. At least the 50 or 48 contiguous states where you can ship to, or so if you guys haven't already, you need to go buy Oliver Goes Off-Road. You can find it on Amazon right now.
Sounds like we sold 5 already.
Really? Well, I literally, while we were sitting here, I literally clicked one. It's $9.99 at Amazon. And who else bought any?
Adam bought one. Rob bought one.
Nice.
Tim had bought one already.
Yeah, Tim bought one. He's the one that told us about it. So okay,
I'm gonna get one tonight.
So you got about 5 sales tonight. That's
that was worth it.
It's worth it.
You can
Well,
retire.
too, if
you can
you
retire now.
if you send me a message on Instagram, I'd be more than happy to sign it and doodle in it. It's kind of one of the things that makes me happy too, knowing that someone will open it up and see, their name in a book, and a special message to them from some stranger somewhere. People have told me it's really cool, and their kids love that. So I'd be more than willing to do that. Do a little special doodle. All you got to do is just give me your order number, and slide into my DMs, I think is what they would say.
You just opened up a can of worms there, sir.
This is the wrong group.
I'm sorry.
This is the wrong group.
Everything was going so well. Everything was going great.
Getting a video message from Cody S. Hold on.
Honey, we made a huge mistake. We're gonna have to shut this down. We're gonna have to shut this down. No, that's awesome. Like this, the group that listens to this show. We have a lot of people that have kids. When we go on our trips, a lot of times there's a lot of kids, and at one point, we were having a conversation. My wife and I were talking about like off-roading and books and stuff. There's like Sheep in a Jeep. We bought that book because it was Jeep related, right? And that's wasn't something that to your point, you can read books about foxes and dogs and whatever all day long, but something that you're excited about, having an off-road book that you can share with your kids. I think that's a little bit more special.
It's funny you mentioned that. I can recite that darn book by heart now. That's the exact book I read. And I looked at the back, and the copyright was 1986, which is the year I was born. And there weren't, it was clear they didn't have the official license at the time. And I said, there's got to be more than this about Jeeps. And there wasn't. It's you mentioned the Jeep won't go.
Yes.
Story of Jeep owners' lives, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. If you own a Jeep, that's more like that's like more the instruction manual of the Jeep owner's manual. The Jeep. Yeah. And the funny thing is, the reason the Jeep won't go in that book is because it went through mud. and we have an ongoing joke here. You can't get your Wrangler wet. If you get your Wrangler wet, it'll die.
Yep.
And yet I still want to get one.
I know, and you still want to do it.
At the end of that book, there's one for sale that's cheap.
Nobody
knows what I'm talking about.
Multiple pieces, and they can't put it back together. Dude, this is really cool. Like I'm very, very impressed and inspired by what you've done, and you've taken this and created something that you can share with not only your kids and their kids, but other people as well. And it's inspiring to think about going back and going, hey, I want to make this, and you drove it all the way through to completion, and now here you are, sharing this stuff, and it's very cool, man. I kudos to you, sir.
Thank you. I really appreciate your kind words, guys. I'm all breaking up even. I know it's really nice.
That's awesome. And since you're a Southern California local and we find ourselves out in the desert all the time, we're going to have to connect and go wheeling out there so you can flaunt your Gladiator in front of Jose while he's driving around his 94 shitbox. And
it gets me to and fro every day.
I'll tell you about one of our other side gigs too, if you can call it that. So like I said, so my father-in-law has a shop out here in Cat City, and we try and get more and more people to go Jeeping. And then, like, for instance, last time this XJ had his axle snap, and we're like, oh, I wonder what shop you're going to have to take that to.
Yeah. And that is Burgett Automotive. They're on Perez Road in Cathedral City. You can find them on Facebook. How long has he had that shop?
He actually, and he's a big inspiration. My dad wasn't too into cars and whatnot, but he was a great dad by all respects. But I'm really close to my father-in-law, and he actually, everything I know about working on Jeeps, he taught me. Everything, and every single thing I do, every bolt, it's all done by us, and by me, and sometimes in our 110-degree driveway. But he was an aviation mechanic after he got out of the military in Desert Storm, and even braver than me, right? This is a couple grand out, but he retired, opened up his own shop, and for anyone that's ever owned a small business in California, oh my goodness! Overcoming the obstacles of the red tape and everything. That's inspiring. And he's got a 2-post, and he's always wanted to work on classics. He built a '67 Mustang, and there's a '72 Corvette in there now. There's GTOs. There's all kinds of stuff on top of Jeeps and trucks and all sorts of things. So He just built that all by himself as well. So that is inspiring because there's some true risk there. Me, it's just it's a book, but that inspires me.
Yeah, and that's being out in Cat City, Cathedral City, I would assume
there's
traffic.
I'm just saying, but there's not like an established off-road shop out there, is there? Like,
not that I'm aware of. But I'm just saying, like, it's not like if you built a shop, if you started a shop in Irvine, there's a population, the population around the shop. Whereas, you've got to have good service to be out there and continue to get work. You know what I mean? I think that community it's a smaller community that would, know whether or not things are going well. And I'm looking at the stuff on Facebook. There's all kinds of different vehicles in there. It looks like a Chevelle or something, and a BMW, and El Camino.
But Cathedral City's on the way to a lot of like major wheeling.
Off-road, yeah.
Yeah, so that's like a good spot.
It could be a huge spot. We need to do a drive-by. Check it out. What is it? Where's Cathedral City in relation to? This is gonna be.
It's by Palm Springs.
Yeah, it's on the other side of the 10, basically.
Yeah.
It's like it's Palm Springs, Cathedral City, Indio.
El
Mirage is further north, right?
Yeah, it goes. If I can follow, it goes Palm Springs, Cat City, or Cathedral City, Palm Desert, La Quinta, and then Indio, Coachella.
So it's on the way to Ocotillo Wells.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so we'd drive by it on the way to Ocotillo Wells. Sounds like a day trip.
Woo.
Yeah, because we like to go out to Ocotillo Wells. I'm sure you've been out there a bunch of times in yours. That's always a fun trip out there, but it's too hot to go during the summer. So at least for us, it's too hot. So we'll try to plan a trip going out there. Well, look, man, again, I really appreciate you coming on and telling the story. I think, hopefully this inspires other people to be creative and put it out there. And you're right, being creative and doing stuff like this kind of does make you vulnerable. But I think for the most part, humans are decent and they want to see other people happy. So hopefully if someone out there is excited about doing something like this, they'll pull the trigger on it and fulfill that part of their little dream and, get the same type of satisfaction and experience that you've had.
And thank you so much for having me. And thank you again for all your kind words. It's humbling and it's amazing. So thank you.
Appreciate it very much, man. You have a great night.
You too.
All right. We will end the actual interview there. That was a really, really good conversation, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. This is amazing. Really cool experience.
So what we'll do is between now and Wednesday night, I'll edit this part of the recording. We'll put together a couple social media posts. I will email you all of the information. The show usually gets uploaded to the media host Wednesday night for download on Thursday. So by Thursday morning, it'll be in all of the the normal podcast feeds, the iTunes and any of that stuff. And I'll send you the social media posts, and you can use them however you want to promote the show and drive traffic to the site and hopefully get some more book sales. It sounds like we got a couple book sales tonight, which is awesome. Thank you guys in the chat room for supporting the book. I appreciate it. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, man. Well, anything else before we let you have your night back?
No, I just want to say I've never done anything quite like this before. So it's a super cool experience. I can't wait to tell people about it. And thank you so much for having me. It's really, really cool.
And I may, on a personal note, maybe reach out to you because I'm serious about. I made up a song that I've been singing to my little girl since she was months old, and I want to turn it into a book. What's with that rolling eyes? It's a beautiful.
What?
And
Just
I
look at
want
him.
to turn it,
Don't look at me.
I want to turn it into a book, and I've been
Just don't
talking
look at
about
me.
it for a while. So this is gonna. I think this is gonna
Look elsewhere. Avert your eyes.
This is gonna stop. This is gonna inspire me to actually do this. So I may need some help.
Yeah, good. You know what? Good for you. Absolutely. Anything I can do.
I appreciate it. See, he cares.
Good.
I wish you guys cared.
Garrett, you wanna be on a podcast every week, and you and Cody can commiserate other projects, whatever.
You suck. All right, man. You have a great night. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
All right, guys, take care. I'll see you soon.
Thanks,
All
sir.
right, bye.
All right, that was super cool, man. It was a. Are you guys ready? We'll roll into Jose's medical endeavors. 3, 2, 1. So, Jose, how old are you at this point now?
36.
36.
Yeah.
36.
Apparently, being a 36-year-old male, you're already at risk of a heart attack.
Well, I mean,
Well, in your mind, you are.
No, that's what they told me at the hospital, at the place.
At the place. Where did you go? I thought I was having a heart attack. I went to In-N-Out.
Yeah.
So I told you,
Speed up the process.
I saw the meme that said that the reason everything starts hurting after your mid 30s is because the only reason we're still alive after that is because of modern medicine, and human beings aren't meant to live that long.
Yeah.
Our life expectancy back in the
Well, yeah, saber-toothed tigers aren't chasing us down anymore, or wolves, or whatever.
and we spend all of our days sitting behind a computer instead of actually out doing things. So
Think about it. You drive to work, you sit at work, you drive home from work, and you just go home and sit.
So Jose, my normal routine is I walk in, and I usually get there about 15, 20 minutes after Jose shows up. So I walk in, I go drop my stuff in my office, and I walk out and fist bump Jose. How you doing this morning? And he looks up to me. And I'm like, how you doing this morning? He looked up to me, and I'm like, oh my God, is that Jose? Was Jose replaced by a zombie? What is happening? So tell me what how was your weekend, Jose?
Well, I actually had to go to San Bernardino this week. The hospital's in San Bernardino.
Man.
But anyways, Saturday
Where'd you
evening.
go to you went to the county hospital?
Yeah. Where am I supposed to go?
Man, Kaiser Fontana. Dude.
I don't have. They're out of network for me.
Dang. Okay. I'm sorry. You couldn't go. You couldn't find an urgent care. Or something?
Well, I went.
Had he gone to Kaiser, he would have had to pay for the ambulance ride to get next
Oh,
door.
wait a minute. That bill's still coming.
No, the Saturday evening I was driving, and then all of a sudden I got this pressure on my chest that I've never felt, and I thought I was having a heart attack.
Matt described that earlier as
Yeah.
the feeling of adulthood.
He's like, yeah, I feel that every day.
Yeah, dude, that's life.
That's how you know you're alive.
Hey, guess what? You're maturing.
Yeah,
that's like your second puberty. Welcome to adulthood.
That knot that sits above your stomach all the time, that's how you know you're alive, dude.
Okay.
That's fear of failure. That's what I call it. Like, that's what drives me, makes me get up every day. I gotta get out there and make money. I got responsibilities.
Exactly.
So you feel the pressure and you go to the emergency room?
I went to urgent care first, and they took an EKG at urgent care. It looked normal, but the worrying was they're like if it was a sharp pain, it'd been fine. But they're like, it's a pressure, and your blood pressure is really high, so there's something not right. So it's like So I suggest you go to the ER. So I went
like word for word what they told me before I went into the ER, and they put me in an ambulance around the parking lot.
50 yards.
They put Matt in the ambulance to drive him to ER, and I walked behind the ambulance to get there.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, what? Chest pain? Oh no, I don't want anything to do with that. You better go right into the ambulance.
You're right, because that's exactly the way that doctor. Whoa! It's like it's almost like he threw his hands up, got the EMTs in, and was like, "I'm out. I don't want any part of this."
Yeah, I don't want to be responsible for you dying and then getting sued or whatever. And you know what? Whatever. I guess in hindsight, like I'm still upset they put me in an ambulance to drive me around the hospital, but nobody. You're going to have to take those tests, the EKG. Did they give me the EKG at the ER, or was that in
the hospital?
In the hospital.
They didn't do in the ER
or was urgent care.
At the urgent care, they literally just like put a stethoscope up, took your blood pressure and loaded you on a gurney. Like we sat in the lobby for 45 minutes and you were out of there. You were in an ambulance in 12 minutes afterwards.
Yeah. No, exactly. They whatever. They ended up running. If you have a heart attack, I guess they can check to see if you actually did. The enzymes.
Yeah, they did a blood test and it came back negative.
We don't see any enzymes, but what is this chocolate shake?
Is this?
I'm more of a strawberry or banana. But
is that Lagunitas that we're testing? It's like straight in your veins.
Your blood is 12% by volume at this point.
Yeah, your blood's space dust now, dude. Slow down.
So the chat room thinks that you had a surgery to change your name to
which
Josefina.
is hilarious, yeah.
So you go to the urgent care, and then they say no, you got to go to the emergency room.
Go to the emergency room. So I went, and then there they did another EKG. Everything came out good. Blood pressure was still high, but it wasn't as high as from urgent care. But I was really uncomfortable in the ER. But it's just funny seeing people in the ER. Like, dude, there's like repeat customers, like in every line of business, because there's a repeat customer there. She's like super pissed that she has to wait, and she's like, "Is I forgot." She said some name. It's like, no, the worker was like, "No, he's not here today." Well, how long do I have to wait? It's like, dude, it's just crazy that
I have a frequent flyer card. Yeah. I'd like to get mine punched, please.
Let's just say she was asking how long I was going to wait because her ankles were swollen and she didn't have her oxygen, so she can't breathe. So I'll let you just you can picture what kind of lady this was.
And I would assume there's frequent flyers that that are they're called frequent flyers. I would assume that there's frequent flyers that are there hoping for some form of medical medicinal supplements to help ease their whatever it is they need that day.
Yeah.
When I didn't get any supplements. All I got, did I?
When it's funny you say that. When Tammy was pregnant, she was in the emergency room twice with kidney stones, and in both cases, in the lobby was this same couple. This is months apart, but we saw this same couple in the lobby both times, and you're like, "Ooh, I'm surprised that they're still alive, much less sitting in here waiting to be seen."
Mud Raider's 100% right. People do use the ER like a regular doctor because some lady walked in and they're like, "What's wrong with you?" She's like, "I have headaches."
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that probably comes right out of our taxes, right? I mean, those people don't. If you don't have insurance, you can't schedule doctor's appointments, right? You don't have a doctor, so you just go to the ER and whatever. I gotta cut my hand, headaches. Is my foot supposed to look like this? It could be any excuse. And you're at the ER. They can't. I don't think they can turn you away.
I don't think they can turn you away. No.
Yeah, no. There's even a sign up there that says can't turn you.
Yeah.
Hashtag loophole.
Hashtag loophole. And then you're someone like me that has like insurance coverage, and they try to deny it, saying I got a notice on one of my surgeries that they were going to deny my coverage because they thought I had coverage by somebody else. Ugh. And I'm like, no, that was my wife's insurance from her last job that she hasn't been at for months. Mm-hmm. The whole things. So you that was Saturday night. You go there. They say you're not dying.
I'm not. That enzyme test was negative, so it's not my heart. It turned out to be some sort of indigestion, I guess, but I had never felt that before, and I didn't eat anything out of the ordinary.
Indigestion,
or heartburn, or what?
Yeah.
Did Jose have to poop?
Yeah.
No, bro, I poop a lot. And
the doctor's like, "Have you pooped today?"
Yeah. Here's some Metamucil.
Do you have to make?
Well, because they went away because they gave me like a Mylanta cocktail, and that's when it went away.
Fuck. What a waste. Mylanta.
Bro.
Hadn't you thought about that? Okay, now you know.
Swing by CVS, get some Pepto.
Yeah, get some. I'll be real
always with you guys.
Pepto.
I'll be real
when
with
in
you guys.
doubt, take some Pepto.
I'm such a bitch because I thought I was going to die. So from the urgent care, we had my son, but my
You were
mother-in-law.
kissing him goodbye.
No.
Not funny, dude.
Damien,
It's not funny.
dude,
I love
really-
you.
No, dude.
You're making videos, Tim, for like all of his things.
Don't forget Daddy.
When he turns 10, now remember this video, and then a video when he turns 16. I wish I could be there to help you learn to drive. You're getting all these videos in.
I'm not,
On the trip between A and B.
which is like 10 minutes, like a 10, 15 minute ride.
He records him as Instagram reels.
Look, it's only funny because it was Mylanta. Like,
Yes.
Mylanta took all
Yeah,
his
no,
symptoms
100%,
away.
dude, 100%.
Oh, okay.
But I thought I was really dying, dude. So like, when my mother-in-law went and picked him up, like he was saying bye, dude. I got in the car and I started crying.
Oh, dude.
Like it was funny.
Oh, my goodness.
I can imagine.
I never felt that before, like
Yeah.
that pain, and I was just like, damn, dude. What if this is the last time I see him?
I live with that pain every day.
Well, dude,
Every day.
did I tell you about the time I thought I was having a heart attack?
No.
It was right around 2010, going through divorce.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in my office,
Yeah.
and I get this just cramp, this pain in my chest, and it like knocks the wind out of me, and I'm like, oh my God, what is that? Oh, that hurts. And then I could feel the pain go from my chest
Yeah.
into my armpit,
Oh.
and then worked its way down to my groin, and then it settled in my groin, and I'm like, this is it.
Oh, that's cancer, dude.
This is it.
Oh, dude, you had cancer.
So you know what I
until you farted and then it all went away.
Yeah.
So I just got in the car. I didn't say anything
Yeah.
to anybody at work. I got in the car and I was in Brea, and I did have Kaiser at the time, and I drove to the Kaiser, Ontario. I don't know why. There was a Kaiser in Brea. I called my buddy because, like I said, I'm in the middle of a divorce, and I was like, if you can't find me in 3 days,
Yeah.
this is what's happening. I'm going to Kaiser, Ontario. I get to Kaiser, Ontario, and this is before they had the actual hospital. It was just the medical office
it was just
building.
a little office building.
And I walk in and check in, and I'm like, she's like, we don't have urgent care. I said, look, I think I'm dying. Like, so they took me back and did my blood pressure. They're like, your blood pressure is really high, but nothing else seems, and by that, and then as I'm driving, my toes started going numb. I started getting like pins and needles in my toes. And they were like, no, we can't find anything. We suggest that if it happens again, you go to the doctor. And that was the only time that it ever happened. And the only thing I can think of is stress. I was just probably stressed out.
That's what that's what Letty kept asking me. She's like, what are you not telling me? Like, what's going on at work? I'm like, there's nothing going on. Like, everything's good right now.
A little too good. That was the thing. It's like, things are, you know what? Everything's going good right now. And
Yeah.
I just,
the other,
something.
I was waiting for
I
the
need
shoe to drop.
My life, I need a little animosity and then just in your back of your head. All right, here you go. Here's some anxiety. Deal with that.
But then again, so yesterday I was good, and then last night again it started again. But I didn't go to the ER this time. But I stayed up all night.
Have you taken like Gas X? You get them.
I didn't have any Gas X. I had Pepto, and I was drinking that, but it wasn't working. So
I just think you got a good solid poop. Just
dude, I do those every day.
just go saying.
So today I'm fucking exhausted, bro. And I haven't eaten anything because one, I'm not even hungry. Like, I'm not craving anything, but I don't want to wake the sleeping dragon again.
Yeah, so what's happening is when he's sleeping, Letty's injecting him with stuff to try to get him to lose weight. It's like, if he thinks he's having a heart attack,
yeah.
it'll convince him to lose weight.
She's like, I got him.
Honey, I got him on the run. That's Mark is saying, look up pericardial catch syndrome. Pericardia catch syndrome. That sounds like something you get at a club, like on a weekend in Mexico.
But Matt, to your point,
I think at the Metro. I think I got that at the Metro
Kokomos?
Riverside.
Yeah, you got a
back in
Kokomos?
the day.
I was super embarrassed when it went it found out it was just like indigestion. I was like, thank God, dude. I was like, I can't believe I was like.
I remember
thinking about the last time I'm going to see my son, and it turned out to be just a trapped fart in my.
When the doctor came out, and it was at this point it was like 11:30 or midnight or something, and he goes, "Okay, so test results came back," and I'm like, "Oh my God!" He's all, "We're 99.9% sure you did not have a heart attack." oh, okay, great. But we're not going to let you go. We're going to take this test 3 more times to just make sure. Because you're fat and you're just, we just want to make sure, dude.
You're overweight and 46, so chances are.
Yeah. And, I wasn't embarrassed at all. I was like, well, thank you, I guess.
I wasn't embarrassed to go, all right, dude, you're good. Like, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah,
I'm out.
I'm out.
Well, I was there till, 11:30, something like that?
Till the test came back.
Yeah. And that's right, because you drove. We drove 2 separate vehicles.
You followed me,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, I mean, we've been telling Jose for a while
That shit's real, dude.
that at 35, like from 35, it's downhill from there. I was able to get to 37, 38 because I was working out so much during that time period. I extended it to like 38, but the minute I stopped working out, like it's just been downhill since. So if you were allergic to food, what could it be? I mean, if you were having like, what did you eat on Saturday?
A cheeseburger like that we grilled. That was it, and some chips.
Oh, you were food poisoned. Letty poisoned you.
Yeah,
I grilled it.
She it was in the prepping of the burger. I don't know.
No, I don't know, dude. Like I said,
has there been any recent changes in your life insurance policy? Has that gone up at all?
I just maxed it out at work. Whatever the max was, I got it. So,
well, I'm sure it was super scary.
And then it was super scary, and then it was super embarrassing after. Like, yeah, dude, it was just indigestion or something.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're
not. But if
not dying.
If you were like, oh, it's just indigestion, and you didn't go to the doctor, same thing we told him at the time. You're like, oh no, I'm fine, I'm fine, and you croaked. We have been like, that's more embarrassing. Like
that's the reason why I went. I'm like that. I don't know what this is.
Yeah,
I'd rather play it safe and just go.
What? And I think back to like in your 20s. If you're like, I'll shake it off. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Right now, you've got kids. You've got this responsibility. You're like, oh my God, what if this is it? And you panic and go to the doctor.
Yeah.
If in my 20s, I had seriously passed out and hit the ground, my friends and family would just start kicking me like, get up. He'll get up, and then just leave me there. Hey, what happened to Matt? Remember he passed out or whatever, and we were kicking him. Yeah, we just left him there. Like, oh well,
He'll shake it off.
Yeah, nobody's gonna check up on you.
He'll be up in the morning,
or not. Whatever days could go by. Yeah, my 20s, I was like unstoppable. Even into my 30s, I felt pretty great. But dude, late 30s, like Cody said. Just F it.
I feel very stoppable at this point. Like, it would be very, very easy to stop me at this point. Like, I am, I don't know that I can. I have to. Well, Tammy doesn't really listen to the show very much, so I can. I joke around all the time. Like, I just got to get to 60. That's when Presley turns 18. I just right now my goal in life
that's the
is
countdown.
Just get her through high school. And then she gets mad at me. She gets mad at me when I say stuff like that. So I have to be around longer than that. But I mean, what about you're tired as hell because you didn't sleep last night.
Yeah.
How are you feeling right now?
My chest is sore. I don't know if it's from just me just always trying to always pushing down on it all night, or not being able to get comfortable last night. I don't know. Just tired and my chest is a little sore, but nothing. Nothing's triggered it. Those peanuts haven't triggered it yet. So,
are you gonna eat on the way home? Are you gonna eat anything?
I want to, but I'm scared.
I honestly think
you have to eat.
You have to eat something, and I think
because if it's really anxiety related, not eating is just going to exacerbate. It's just going to make it worse.
And I think you should use it as an experiment. Go get the most dairy. Go get a vanilla shake.
See, I think I don't know, but I didn't even put. It was just a slice of cheese.
But I'm just saying, go get the most dairy thing you can find and eat it on the way home, and see what happens tonight.
Cool.
I don't want to feel that pain again or that uncomfort.
But you would know. You would
discomfort.
know. Maybe you're gluten intolerant.
I hope not, because I told you guys earlier. I'm like, if that's the case, I'm still gonna pay the piper because I'm not gonna stop eating pizza, dude.
Your gluten. Your what's that? What's the term for people that are affected by
Lactose?
No, gluten's in a whole other
gluten.
something else. There's an actual medical term for people that can't tolerate gluten.
I think pussy.
That's what I was gonna say. Pussies.
I think you're a big bitch. You can't. I can't do it.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, but the fact that I cried, dude, I can't believe like.
Oh, I totally believe it.
Yeah, dude. I was just like, what the fuck? Whatever.
Oh, dude, I can celiac disease is what it's called.
Yeah.
I can totally see it. I can because it wasn't like it's your elbow. You know, it's in the core of your body where all the important stuff is. You know.
No, and this time, usually when we leave and he's saying goodbye, like he never wants to say goodbye to me. He's just like playing, right?
Oh, he knew it was over.
Yeah, and but this time he's just like, all right, bye, Dad, bye. I was like, oh,
I'm dying.
Oh shit! What did Letty say? Was she like
when I started crying?
Yeah,
she started freaking out too. She's like, what did they tell you in there? Like, I was like, nothing. I was like, I'm just scared.
You should have leveraged that, honey. I only have this much longer.
Monty never says anything like that. Just stop being a wuss.
No,
you're fine.
You should have said, it's going to be touch and go. We won't know for the next 3 months. I'm going to need you to take care of me as much as possible in the next 3 months. Let's live our lives to the fullest.
Well, we had that talk after, too. She's like, what are your thoughts coming out of this? I'm like, well, like, it just makes you realize how short life can be. Like, shit, like, because people do die just out of nowhere every day, dude. And I'm, how am I any different? Like, so it's just like
not everybody's the physical specimen that you are.
Oh yeah, on that. When they were taking my EKG at the hospital, the nurse was like, "Are you taking any medication right now? Like, are you on any medication?"
Yo, should I be?
I'm like, no. He's like, "'Cause you have a really slow heartbeat." And I'm like, "Well, is that good or bad?" He's like, "Well, it just depends." He's like, runners and elite athletes have slower heartbeats because their heart's really efficient. And I was just sitting there with my shirt. I'm like, bro, does it look like I'm an elite athlete?
It's been a while since I ran my last marathon.
So I just, in my head, I was laughing.
Maybe
he
meant mathlete.
Oh shit! All right, so you're not dying.
I'm not dying.
That we're
Apparently
aware of.
I have some sort of indigestion.
For those of you that were submitting your applications to take Jose's spot on the show, we'll shelf those. We'll keep them for future reference.
Yeah, we'll have to get like My Atlantic come on as a sponsor.
Oh no! Pretty soon the show will be sponsored by Aflac and
it's gonna be
and AARP.
AARP. You know what? I'm just a few years away from AARP. Advil should be a sponsor right now.
Oh, dude, yeah. Tylenol and Advil are like I alternate between the two.
And Metamucil.
I heard that you don't
remember,
have
kids,
to,
take your glucosamine.
I heard that you don't have to be retirement age to join AARP.
God, please, let's not. Come on. Can I just ignore that?
I feel like I'm 70. Does that get...
That's what,
you feel like you're 70 now. Just imagine 15 years from now.
Dude, it's
12 year, whatever the difference is between us.
It's going to be tough. So if anybody has any life advice for Jose as to what he can do to turn himself around and make sure that he does what he needs to do. Shy says, I'm sure it was gas. He had it too. I mean, I think everybody's leaning towards gas. And I think collectively with the group that we have in the chat room, that's almost as good as a medical degree.
Yeah, you're right. Out of all the years of experience everybody has, yep.
And Angie says that you get your AARP envelope on your 50th birthday.
Cody, you're close.
Super
bro.
close.
You're super close.
Matt and I will have an AARP party that same year.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Bunch of Insure, right?
Insure, Metamucil.
Perry says that after this much whining, I'm pretty sure some Midol will take care of it.
I think he's right.
Oh, that's so funny. You're talking about possibly dying, and all we can do is make fun of you.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I wouldn't expect any less.
Yeah.
I'd be disappointed if.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you're not dead. I mean, I went through. It'd be a hard process to have to backfill two positions.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, I've got 2 spots I'd have to backfill. It's annoying. I don't have the money for a recruiter anymore. We talked about. We briefly talked about. Let's talk about this piece. We talked about vehicles. So, I've been interested in that Mustang Mach-E.
Okay.
That electric vehicle. Tammy's going to be in the market for a vehicle soon.
All right.
So I just went to
again. You guys, you know what?
I think how many cars have you guys gone?
Exactly. If I didn't know exactly where your house was, I would drive up to your driveway like every other time. It's like there's different vehicles. Like, is this the right house? I think this is the right place. You guys go through vehicles like Jose goes through my Lanta. I don't know, man. She's looking to get something else.
Yeah. And
I don't drink that stuff, Shy.
And I went and looked at it, and like I said, it was the sticker price was $11,000 more than the MSRP on their website. And
that's a lot.
It was a lot
Because that's already kind of an expensive vehicle.
Yeah, it's super nice.
I heard they're good, dude. I heard they're really good.
Yeah, it's super nice. I'm definitely still interested in it, but not at that current rate. You know what I mean? It's one of those. Well, let's wait and see.
What gets me is like you have to pay more to buy this. Like it doesn't make sense to me, dude. It's like, bro, the profit's already built into the MSRP. Yeah, but usually that's at 100% inventory.
Because somebody will pay it.
Fuck off,
Yeah.
dude.
Somebody will pay it.
Yeah, I know.
Again, it's capitalism. We went over this a couple of weeks ago. You don't have. Here's the good news. You don't have to buy that shit. You can walk away and go, screw you guys. That's a crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
Some other dolt is right behind you like, I don't care. Give it to me now.
Well, and then he started the conversation.
And they just think about the payments,
Yes,
like
I was just saying. He started down that, financing. And what kind of payment are you trying to get to? I'm sure we can do some creative. And I was like, nah, dude, look,
the payment it's ambiguous at this point.
Yeah,
right now is the sale price.
Yeah, because I wouldn't even go through their financing. I would go through our credit union and get a check and go, this is what I'm this is the amount of money I'm going to give you for this vehicle. You're either going to take it or you're not, but yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. So it's ongoing. I think you should settle into your landcruiser for at least another 12 months.
Probably at least
until
4 to 6 months.
Frontier comes out.
Even though the new Frontier, like the first one, I think came off the assembly line this week.
There's videos that came on, like they started production on them.
Yeah.
So they're assembling them now as we speak. Well, maybe the shift's over by now, but
they're on break.
Yeah, but they're on the assembly line
right now. Those are gonna come out super expensive. I wouldn't buy anything right now. It's just dumb. Everybody,
unless you can find the right deal.
At this point, it's all elevated, because of that excuse or whatever. And people apparently are, whether it's like the money, the checks we got, for recovery check, whatever, the stimulus checks or
now
whatever.
If you have kids, you're getting that child
people are like,
tax credit.
I'm gonna go spend some money, and they don't really. They're not. They were cooped up for a year, getting a new car. Yeah, I can, whatever. I can afford it, and so that's they're getting away with it. You gotta wait. You gotta wait at least 6 months until things until the economy collapses, until all the zombie apocalypse, and then you'll be able to get a vehicle at a nice price.
Yeah, good price.
You just have to dodge a few zombies.
That'd be all right.
Once the housing market hits its bubble. And
good. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's putting in pools in my neighborhood. I noticed. Like, damn! Everybody refinanced their house.
They're not gonna have to pay it back anyways when that shit.
Yeah, they walk away.
Society collapses. We're gonna make your payments to, dude.
Mad Max.
Yeah. Mr. Thunderdome.
Senior Dome. Yeah. Or what was the what's her name? Thunderdome. The singer.
Tina Turner.
Yeah, Tina Turner. Whatever her title was in that movie.
I don't remember.
She was like the real leader post-apocalyptic.
That's another movie we should watch one night and just record ourselves talking about it, because we've talked about Thunderdome a billion times. I haven't seen it in
at least probably 30 years. Like it's probably been on, like, scrolling through in the past 10 years, and I just chuckle like, I ain't watching that.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I've seen the first one, right? The Road Warrior, but I haven't seen any of the follow-up. Or is Mad Max the first one?
Mad Max is the first one.
Okay.
And then Road Warriors, I think, the second one. And then Thunderdome.
Yeah, then Thunderdome.
And then they did the one not long ago with Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, glad you're not dead.
Cool.
Cars are expensive.
Okay.
And go buy Oliver Goes Off-Road. And other than that, have a great night, everybody. Thank you for joining us in the chat room. We appreciate it. It's always the same people that join and have a good time. And thank you guys. We really, really appreciate it.
We assume they have a good time.
Well, they look. They spend their entire time making fun of us, and I think that makes them happy. All right, everybody. Have a good night.